Hey everyone, Besley here, and I just thought that I'd take a second to talk about Star Wars, the future of Star Wars, and why I'm not going to see Solo: A Star Wars Story. The answer to that is pretty simple, so I'll get to it. Basically, because I refuse to patronize a company or patronize the product, the specific product, due to the ways Lucasfilm talks to the fans, how they address the fans, and how they treat Star Wars as a whole. I don't think that Lucasfilm and the people who are currently writing for Star Wars and producing for Star Wars, particularly Ryan Johnson, the head honchos at Lucasfilm, and especially everyone involved with Solo, especially the screenwriter whose name escapes me right now, but it's kind of a fuckboy. So, it just feels like I'm not wanted in the Star Wars fandom. And this is sort of backed up by the fact that people writing about Star Wars, people in the media who follow Star Wars stuff and cover Star Wars stuff for the most part, with the exception of some people on YouTube, they talk like they don't want me in the fandom. They act like I am some horrible, racist, sexist, backwards apologist who is a Nazi, or who is just an undesirable, who they don't want in the Star Wars fandom, and who they are happy to see leave the Star Wars fandom. That's fine. If you don't want me to watch your movies or patronize you, that's cool. I can tap out. And then at the same time, though, when I say, okay, you're not making something for me, I'm ready to tap out, they're telling me that I'm not a true Star Wars fan. That I can't have this opinion, even though they get upset. These are the same people who get upset when they're like, well, the fan consensus is that TLJ was really bad, but I like TLJ and I'm feeling really attacked right now. So they can do that and at the same time say these horrible things about people like me, who am basically saying, look, I saw what you did with The Last Jedi, and I'm not feeling that excited for Solo. Will I probably watch Solo at some point? Yeah, on Netflix. But I'm not going to go out to the film, and I'm not going to waste gas and pay for food there, and maybe take a friend along. I'm not going to go for the whole experience of it being in a theater. What's the point when they don't want me there? And then they have the gall to call me not a true Star Wars fan when I say, okay, I'm tapping out. Like, this is what you wanted. You wanted to drive people away. This is how you've written Star Wars. And then you're upset when people don't show up. Well, I got news for you. The reason why people don't show up is because you've done this to Star Wars. It's because you've disrespected characters that we really, really like. Rewritten them to be something that they're not. The fact that the way that Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa were treated horribly treated. I have not seen a character just completely butchered and disrespected as bad as Luke Skywalker was in a long time. He was written fan fiction badly, to be quite honest. And what blows my mind is that, honestly, I'm of the opinion, and I'm gonna make some enemies here, I didn't think that The Force Awakens was that bad. The worst thing I can say about it is that it took no risks. The problem with The Last Jedi is that it took, and I'm going to sound like a dumbass, it took too many, it didn't take too many, it took the wrong risks. It took bad risks. Instead of skydiving with a parachute, it skydived with no parachute and then was surprised when it died as it hit the ground. That's the difference in terms of risk-taking. So, I thought that The Force Awakens the quality of The Force Awakens was going to be determined by what they did with The Last Jedi. I truly felt that it's a setup movie. So it sets up certain things and then it pays off, or it's supposed to pay off. However, The Last Jedi dropped everything. Ryan Johnson basically said, fuck all the stuff that JJ has done, even though I'm not a huge fan of JJ. I think he's okay. Like, I'm not going to say that he's, like, horrible. He is a guy who, is able to come up with really good ideas but not follow through with them. Like, in Lost and Cloverfield, like, those started off so strong and kind of ended on a whimper. I didn't think that the way Lost ended was particularly satisfying, for example. But, I do think that he has some good ideas, and I think really what you want JJ to be is your ideas guy, and then have somebody follow up, and then bring those ideas to its conclusion. I feel like he's half of what you need. So I don't hate JJ. I don't even particularly hate the Star Trek reboot films. I think that they're shot kind of ugly because of the lens flares, and I don't like hate them terribly. I think they're just okay. They're middling, and that's okay for, like, if you're looking for a big dumb, like, summer film. All right, I know that the point is that Star Trek is kind of supposed to be cerebral, but if you're making these as, like, just standalone, their own thing, I'm okay with it. Just like I'm okay with, like, sort of the MCU being separate from, like, the actual Marvel comic book stuff. That's fine. It's again, like, as long as you're willing to make this thing and spin it off into its own thing for its own audience, I'm not going to hate you for it. However, I am going to hate you when you say, okay, this is mainline, and then I'm going to fuck it up, and then I'm going to retroactively cheapen and make worse the original content. That's where I have a problem. So that's where Star Wars kind of is right now, and my boyfriend has seen Solo, full disclosure. He thought it was not as bad as everyone was saying it was. That's fine. I'm still not going to patronize it. I will wait for Netflix. It had a really bad opening weekend, and I'm okay with that. I feel like people are speaking with their wallets, putting their money where their mouth is, saying, no, we don't want this. We want you to make Star Wars, not Star Wars that's middling, which is what my boyfriend thought it was middling. It was average. Like, maybe a little bit below average to slightly below average. Like, Star Wars shouldn't be a 5 out of 10 film. And again, some of the prequels sort of fall into that average, excuse me, but the one thing that prequels have going for it is that they're so sorry, I'm burping. This is why I shouldn't have Diet Coke, is that they're so bad they're good. So, like, a lot of the stuff that, like, I can go in and I can watch one of the prequel films and laugh at it, I can't do that with The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is just upsetting. And I can still be mad at the prequels for what they did to, like, Anakin, which I thought was really bad. But again, I think that some of that is still better than what the new Disney films are. So I would actually put Episode 3 at higher than The Force Awakens, actually. For all of its flaws, I think that it sits and watches slightly better. The one thing that I think that The Last Jedi has going for it is that the practical effects are beautiful, and it's shot really, really well. That's the one thing I can say about The Last Jedi. It's shot very well. The practical effects are very good. That's the nicest things I can say about it. The people who were doing that part of the film did a lovely job, and I'm really sad that all of their hard work culminated in this absolute clusterfuck piece of shit film. So, but yeah, so there are people writing articles being like, if you boycotted Solo, you're a bad person and your Star Wars card is revoked, and all this other shit. So, I guess I'm not a Star Wars fan. I guess I'm not a... whatever. I'm not a fan, apparently. Alright. Fine. I hate Star Wars. And you can see how much I hate Star Wars by this trip through my house. Oh, my car. Oh, what's that? It's almost like I identify with Princess Leia, as she is on my car, with a tauntaun representing me and my cat. Oh my god. What? Not a real Star Wars fan? Oh, what's this? A Sith magnet? Not a Star Wars fan, though, clearly. Totally Final Fantasy XIV fan, though. You can tell, because there's a black mage icon magnet on the car. Anyway, what's this? Oh, the inside of my Xterra. Oh, what could possibly be inside of this car of not a real Star Wars fan? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a fucking Star Wars
sun shield of the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Oh. She's not a real Star Wars fan, though. You know, those girls that dislike The Last Jedi, they're not real Star Wars fans. The girls that don't go to see Solo, not a real Star Wars fans. Just, you can tell that she's not a real Star Wars fan because she's got this USB charger, port thing that sits in her cup holder. Definitely not a Star Wars fan. A Star Wars fan would definitely not have anything like that. You can see we hate Star Wars in this house, because would a Star Wars fan have a Death Star waffle maker? Surely not. As you can see, coming down to the basement, we still really hate Star Wars. We also hate America. Unfortunately, the skiff barge, the whole Jabba's Palace skiff set, was in my apartment in college. Unfortunately, moving to the house, it kind of went into pieces. So we've got some pieces of it here. There's some more pieces in this bucket. And as you can see, I still have the instructions for that. Oh, what's this here? As you can see, this is a vintage AT-AT that's kind of in pieces at the moment. But still mostly in one piece. It does have sound action, but I don't think the batteries have been replaced in a long time. It's just in storage. I don't have a good place to put it, which is tragic. It's quite a nice toy. When I got this at Christmas, when we all got this at Christmas, it was a big deal. We really, really love this. As you can see, it's... Oh! Awesome! Batteries still work.
Yes, Lord Vader. I've reached the main power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
Awesome. Okay.
All troops will debark the ground assault. Distance to power generators, 17.28. Target maximum firepower.
Okay, that's really fucking cool. Oh my god, I'm so glad that the batteries on that work still. I should probably double check to make sure that they're not leaking out. Wow, what's all this? Star Wars. Are you telling me that these buckets are full of Star Wars toys? That's not, that's a castle. Are you telling me this bucket is full of Star Wars toys? Oh my god, is that a Millennium Falcon? Yeah, it is. We've gone from the bottom of the house to the top of the house. So, here we are. It's about 90 degrees up here because there's no AC, but as you can see, well, what's this? Yeah, I really hate Star Wars. It's just hate it. Oh, what's this? Star Wars fabric. Oh, what's this? Oh, am I building Darth Nox's lightsaber? Oh, do I really, really like Star Wars The Old Republic so much to make my own lightsaber? What's this? Are these all gonna get glued down? Do I got lightsaber crystals over here someplace? Do I have the electronic components to make it light the fuck up? Fits really nice in the hand. Oh, I don't know what else. Oh, what's this? Pose Blaster. Pose Blaster. Okay, this is fucking cool. Only the people who really hate Star Wars would put their head on the Star Wars logo to go to bed. It's a sign of deep disrespect in the Star Wars universe. And as you can see, it's really hot out, so it's been folded over. Also as a sign of disrespect, not because it's like 90 degrees in here, just to say, fuck you, Star Wars. I hate you, and I don't want anything to do with you, and I've never wanted anything to do with you. That's why, only the people who hate Star Wars the most would spend $100 on a full set and a really big, nice, beautiful, currently covered in stuffed animals, Star Wars comforter. You know those haters. Is this a homemade Star Wars blanket? Only a hater would make this. Star Wars reading. Wow, Besley, I know you said you liked comics, but do you have any Star Wars comics in your collection? Well, my friends, I can tell you with 110% certainty that I do not have any Star Wars comics in my collection because I hate Star Wars. Oh no, how did these get here? Okay, so this is my leg, but this is my Disney pin collection. Here's my Amiibo collection, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about my Star Wars stuff, so... Oops, sorry, I just kicked something on the floor. So as you can see, here's all my Disney Infinity Star Wars stuff. As you know, Disney Infinity is no longer a thing. Not for lack of me trying to keep it a thing, as I have all this Star Wars stuff, and I have a fair amount of other Disney Infinity things that are not Star Wars related. As you can see, I have a General Hux here. That's a Force Awakens General Hux. Before they turned him into a joke who got rused by stupid shit, because that's how he got to be the leader of a military dictatorship that was able to destroy the acting government. You only do that if you're really, really bad at falling for jokes. And here is the a TLJ Force Link toy. I don't own a Force Link. I'm not that pathetic. I'm discerning with my Star Wars toys. Big ol' finger quotes. Here's some prequel Disney Infinities with young Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Fighting on sand, I suppose. That didn't really happen, but no, the bases look nice. As you can see, I've got more Disney Infinity stuff here, but we don't care about that. That's not Star Wars. Let's go over here. I think I got a couple Star Wars games in my thing. We'll see if I can find them. Unfortunately, I'm so pressed for space that I put stuff in front. These are like the few Funko Pops I actually own. Please don't judge me. I know you're already judging me very harshly because of this. Here we go. Here's the Lego Star Wars games. Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy for Nintendo GameCube. And I've managed to knock down my my Yokai watch, but that's alright, it'll survive. Don't think I own any Wii Star Wars games, that's okay. I just wanted to show you those. And finally, as I yawn and hiccup at the same time, I've got this set of, so I can close that? Yes. I've got this lovely set of Star Wars posters. They are very cute. I'd like to put them all on a wall someday. They're lovely. I really, really like all of these. They're all beautiful prints, works of art that are super cute. I really like that Lair of the Rancor one. I'm a big fan of that aesthetic. I also am kind of a fan of that Revenge of the Sith poster as well. And this one reminds me of Iron Giant, so that's always a good thing. So I really liked Star Wars The Old Republic. Honestly, it's still not a bad game. Unfortunately, I quit paying sub because they decided not to release any new content for raiding. I usually play MMOs to raid, so it's really not my cup of tea anymore. However, I hear the single player content is okay. It's definitely worth a look. If you're into sort of the seedy underbelly of Star Wars that sort of Solo purports to show, you would probably like Star Wars The Old Republic because there is a smuggler class and there is also an Imperial agent class, and both of them have really good stories. I find that the Imperial agent story is the best story in the game. That gets into a lot of Imperial politics and just doing wet work for the Imperials, which is really interesting and fascinating. The smuggler obviously gets into that sort of seedy underbelly, gambling and being skullduggery and just sort of working for money, which is really fun. Highly recommend. And I also highly recommend what I went to see instead of Solo this past weekend, Memorial Day weekend. I went with my friend to see Deadpool 2, and we had an amazing time. We laughed a lot. Highly recommend. Definitely something to go see if you haven't seen it already. Big Star Wars fan, as you can obviously see. Really disappointed and a little bit upset that the creator, or the people who are creating for Star Wars right now, Lucasfilm at the top, and a lot of the people who purport to be Star Wars fans and lead Star Wars fan sites and things that are supposed to be for the fans, basically saying that I'm not a fan. It's really disheartening, and it's also really insulting because they insinuate that the only people who don't like the new Star Wars are straight white men. I am a bi autistic woman, so
obviously I own a lot of Star Wars shit. Sorry it had to be that long, but I wanted to show off most of it. Some stuff that didn't make it in, obviously, were all of the movies. I figured that those were a given, except for The Last Jedi. I don't own that one, full disclosure. And I also don't own Rogue One. I don't know why I don't own Rogue One. I actually quite liked Rogue One. But, anyways, what did you think of Solo? Are you gonna see it? Are you not gonna see it? What do you think of Star Wars right now? Whatever you think is fine. It's your opinion. It's your life. We're all Star Wars fans at the end of the day. Even if the media says we're not, you can like Star Wars and be a Star Wars fan. It's okay. I just feel this way. I feel that Star Wars is not representing what it used to, and I feel like the quality is severely diminished. If you like it, that's great. Continue to support it with your dollar, but I think most Star Wars fans at this point are tired and just wish that Disney Lucasfilm would stop. So, again, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bonfire.